Welcome back to the class again. We were discussing chemical bonding. In this class, we will discuss some shortcuts which are very helpful for the competitive exams. First, we will try to learn how to calculate the bond order. In order to calculate bond order, what we need to do is just calculate the total number of electrons in the molecule. Generally, we find bond order only for diatomic molecules. So just find a total number of electrons in the molecule. For example, if you are given HF, then there is 1 electron in hydrogen, 9 electrons in fluorine. So altogether it is 10 electrons. So this is the only thing which we need to do. If there is one electron, the bond order is half. If there are 2 electrons, bond order is 1. If there are 3 electrons, it is again half. If there are 4 electrons, it is 0. 4 electrons, it is 0. Again, with 5 electrons, half, 6 electrons, 1, 7 electrons, half, 8 electrons, 0. 8 electrons, 0. Now, it is important to remember from here. 9 electrons, bond order is half. 10 electrons, bond order is 1. 11 electrons, bond order is 1 and half. 12 electrons, bond order is 2. 13 electrons, bond order is 2 and half. 14 electrons, bond order is 3. From 9 to 14, it is half to 3. After that, it decreases 2 and half, 2, 1 and half, 1, half, 0. So from 9 to 20, you just remember this, or you just remember 3 for 14 electrons. If you decrease 1, bond order will decrease by half. If you increase 1, again bond order will decrease by half. For example, you just look at CO molecule. There are 6 electrons in carbon, 8 electrons in oxygen. Altogether we have 14. So 14 bond order 3. We don't need to calculate the MO theory, electronic configuration, then bond order definition, nothing. If it is NO, 7 plus 18, 15. So 15 means 2.5. So this is how we can simply calculate the bond order. Next, we will discuss how to identify the shape of the molecule. If you know the hybridization, we can easily identify the shape, right? We will take some examples and we will practice how do we predict the shape of the molecule with shortcut. In SO3 molecule, sulfur is the central atom and oxygen is bonded to sulfur. Now, sulfur, we will consider only valency electrons. Valency electrons. Sulfur is the oxygen group, which is having 6 valency electrons. Oxygen group, so 6 valency electrons. We will take 6 dots, which represents 6 electrons, valency electrons in sulfur. Valency electrons in central atom. Now, we have 3 oxygens. Each oxygen is capable of forming one sigma bond. So oxygen will give one electron, sulfur give one electron, so both will have one sigma bond. So there are three oxygens, they can generate three sigma bonds. These represents sigma bonds. These lines represents sigma bonds. Now, when oxygen is there, we must leave one electron for pi bond, one electron for each oxygen, one electron for each pi bond. There are three oxygens, so we leave three electrons for three pi bonds. Now, in order to calculate the total number of bonds, we consider only sigma bonds and lone pairs. We don't consider pi bonds. So here we have three sigma bonds. Three sigma bonds. So it has three bonds. Three bonds means it is sp2 hybridization. Three bonds means sp2 hybridization. Sp2 hybridization shape is trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. So the shape of the molecule is trigonal planar. Next we will discuss XeF4 molecule. Xenon valency electrons are 8. So we will go for 8 dots. Xenon is bonded to 4 fluorine atoms. So take 4 sigma bonds. Fluorine will give 1 electron, xenon will give 1 electron. So they will form 4 sigma bonds. There are only 4 fluorine atoms. Fluorine atoms will not involve in pi bonding. So the remaining 4 electrons, they are two lone pair of electrons. This is a lone pair. This is again a lone pair. These are sigma bonds. In order to count the number of orbitals involved in hybridization, we will count sigma bonds as well as lone pairs. Pi bonds we don't count, because if there is a sigma bond, pi bond will generate along with sigma bond. So we don't consider, pi bonds will not contribute to structure, shape. Pi bonds will not contribute to shape. Whereas lone pairs and sigma bonds, they will contribute to shape. Now, so 4 sigma bonds and 2 lone pairs, we have 6 bonds. Altogether we have 6 orbitals which are involved in hybridization. So with 6 we will have sp3d2 hybridization. What is the shape? sp3d2 hybridization. What is the shape? Shape is octahedral. Shape is octahedral. Octahedral with two lone pairs. Octahedral with two lone pairs. These two lone pairs are placed one above the plane, one below the plane. So the resultant octahedral with two lone pairs. So the resultant is square planar. Resultant is square planar. I'll try to draw the structure. Xenon. Octahedral means 4 bonds in the plane. It is like a square, and 2 bonds, one above the plane, one below the plane. Here we will place fluorine atoms like this, and there are 2 lone pairs. So as we know, lone pairs don't contribute to shape. With 4 fluorine atoms, the shape is square planar. Next, we will discuss some more examples. CO3 2 minus. Carbonate ion Carbon is the central atom. So carbon valency electrons 4. Here this molecule is having 2 minus charge. How do we get 2 minus charge? If we add 2 electrons, then the molecule will get 2 minus charge. Because of 2 minus charge, we also add 2 more electrons here. Carbon valency electrons, 4 electrons. Because of 2 minus charge, we will add 2 electrons. Now we have 3 oxygens. As I said, each oxygen will generate 1 sigma bond. At the same time, each oxygen will also involve in 1 pi bond. We will consider only the sigma bonds in order to identify the shape. So there are 3 sigma bonds. So 3 orbitals are involved in hybridization. 3 orbitals, it is 1s and 2p. So sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization shape is trigonal planar. Shape is trigonal planar. We will consider a similar example, Br3 plus, where out of the 3 bromine atoms, 1 bromine atom is central atom, 2 bromine atoms are bonded to central bromine atom. Now, how many valency electrons are there in bromine? Bromine is a halogen, which is a 7th group element. It will have 7 valency electrons. 7 valency electrons. Now, bromine, this molecule is having 1 positive charge. How do we get positive charge? If we remove 1 electron, then we will get 1 positive charge. If we remove 1 electron, we will get 1 positive charge. So we will consider only 6 electrons here. We don't consider 7th electron. We don't consider 7th electron. Now, there are 2 more bromines. So these 2 bromines will involve in sigma bonding. Each bromine will form 1 sigma bond. So out of the 3 bromines, 1 bromine is the central atom, 2 bromines are bonded to the central bromine. Now the remaining electrons are lone pair of electrons. 2 electrons will be lone pairs. So there are 2 sigma bonds, 2 lone pairs. Altogether there are 4 orbitals involved in bonding. So 4 means sp3 hybridization. 4 orbitals means sp3. 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals. Altogether 4. sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization shape is tetrahedral. Shape is tetrahedral with 2 positions occupied by lone pair. 2 positions occupied by lone pairs. But generally we don't consider lone pairs in order to discuss the shape. So without lone pairs it is V shape. Without lone pairs it is V shape. Now we will discuss about XeO3 molecule. In xenon trioxide, xenon is the central atom. Xenon is the central atom. So xenon will have 8 valency electrons. Xenon is having 8 valency electrons. Xenon is bonded to 3 oxygens. So each oxygen will form 1 sigma bond. So 3 oxygens will form 3 sigma bonds. And as I said, when oxygen is there, each oxygen will also form 1 pi bond. So 3 sigma bonds and 3 pi bonds. Remaining are lone pairs. Remaining are lone pairs. In order to determine the hybridization, we consider only sigma bonds and lone pairs. We don't consider pi bonds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 orbitals involved in bonding. So it is tetra sp3 hybridization and tetrahedral shape with one position occupied by lone pair. Without lone pair, it is pyramid shape. Without lone pair, it is pyramid shape. I will discuss the last example. NO3 minus. Nitrogen is the central atom and it is bonded to 3 oxygen. Nitrogen, fifth group element, so it will have 5 valency electrons. And because of 1 minus charge, we also get 1 electron. We also get 1 electron. Now, there are 3 oxygens, so they will involve in 3 sigma bonds. Similarly, there are 3 oxygens, so they will involve in 3 pi bonds. In order to determine the hybridization, we only consider sigma orbitals. We don't consider pi. So there are 3 sigma orbitals. There are 3 orbitals involved in hybridization. 3 means sp2 hybridization. It is trigonal planar shape. There is one more point needs to be added here: isoelectronic species. Isoelectronic species or isoelectronic molecules means molecules with the same number of total electrons or molecules with the same number of valency electrons. Isoelectronic means we can take any of them. Molecules with same number of total electrons or molecules with same number of valency electrons. So same number of total electrons that we will count from the atomic numbers. Same number of valency electrons we can count from these rules. Okay. So here it is sp2 hybridization. If another molecule is having same sp2 hybridization with 3 pi bonds, yeah, it is a isoelectronic species. In order to discuss the isoelectronic molecules, we will count the total number of electrons. That means according to atomic number. Consider NO plus and CO. Carbon 6 electrons, oxygen 8 electrons, total 14 electrons. In NO plus, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, there is 1 plus charge, so we need to decrease 1, so 14 electrons. These two are isoelectronic species. Now another way is if valency electrons are same. Consider carbonate ion and NO3 minus. Carbonate ion 3 sigma bonds and 3 pi bonds. NO3 minus also 3 sigma bonds and 3 pi bonds. So NO3 minus and carbonate both are isoelectronic species. Both are isoelectronic species. Now, for example, XeO3 and NO3 minus, there are 3 sigma bonds, 3 pi bonds. Here also 3 sigma bonds, 3 pi bonds, but in XeO3 there is one additional lone pair. If here also there is one lone pair, then XeO3 and NO3 both are isoelectronic. But now they are not isoelectronic.